Hi and welcome to another GC Mysteries video, where this time we are looking at the mystery surrounding the massacre at Jonestown. Okay, so if you recognise this man from history or watching documentaries about him, he is Jim Jones, and he was an American preacher in his own head. He was born on the 13th of May 1931 and was, like I said, a self-professed preacher and a self-professed faith healer. Now, he set up a religious organization called the People's Temple, which existed between 1955 and 1978. Now, he, for some reason, got a lot of followers, and a lot of people looked up to him as if he was God. So, what he actually was an American cult leader, a mass murderer, and a political activist, along with self-professed faith healer and, of course, a self-professed preacher. Now, if you've never heard of him, he was born, as I said, in May 1931 in a rural area of Crete, Indiana. And he was born to James Thurman Jones, who was a World War I veteran, and Lynetta Putnam. Jones was of Irish and Welsh descent, and he later claimed he was partial Cherokee ancestry through his mother, but his maternal second cousin said that was not true. So, how he went from being a little kid to a evil godlike creature is beyond me, but he did. And he became known for Jonestown in Guyana, where he had hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people living in his community, all paying him, all doing what he said, all eating what he told them to eat, all drinking what he said they could drink, and basically he was the leader of everything, and therefore everything that his community members wanted to do had to go through him. They always had to ask for permission to do things. Now, in 1978, there were reports that had surfaced in the media of human rights abuses at Jonestown. Now, deciding to investigate these reports, US Representative Leo Ryan led a delegation to the commune in November of that year. Now, while boarding a return flight with some former temple members who had spoken out and said that they wished to leave, Ryan and 4 others were murdered by gunmen dispatched from Jonestown. So, They were all executed by people who were doing what Jim Jones had said. Now, the part of this story that gets really bad and really disturbing is that Jim Jones then coerced and ordered a mass murder-suicide. Now, you will hear of a mass murder-suicide and it will be 10 or 20 people. In this case, the mass murder-suicide claimed 918 commune members' lives. And the really sad thing about that is that at least 304 of them, if not more, were children. Now, they almost all died through flavor aid that contained cyanide. Now, when Jim Jones was telling his members what to do and that they was to drink this cyanide poison flavor aid, he told the mothers and fathers that their children would die a painless death. They would not suffer at all. Basically, it would just be a drink to them and they would die peacefully. Now, if you have watched a documentary or have seen history of this man, you will know that they did not die painlessly, and they actually suffered quite a lot. They were in tears. They spent the rest minutes of their lives crying because of the pain that was going on inside them. Now, it was the deaths that were ordered by Jim Jones. Now, Jim Jones was given a quite, I suppose, easy decision in his head. He was given the decision of die with the people or get arrested and convicted of the mass murders that he had committed, knowing then that he would no longer be in control. He would no longer be doing what he wanted to do. He would be in a police cell and would be doing what the police officers and the court marshals and prison guards wanted him to do. He would no longer be in control of anything, including himself. So he did the crimes, but was too cowardly to do the time, and committed suicide by shooting himself in the head on the 18th of November 1978 when he was aged 47. So you can tell that he was, not only was he a cult leader and a self-professed faith healer and things like that, but he always was a coward. How a coward can become a god to thousands of people is beyond me. I don't understand that, because I don't understand what was so good about the man, apart from nothing. The only good thing about Jim Jones was his death. Now, he fathered 9 children and told his followers that extramarital affairs were not allowed. However, he then went and conflicted himself by doing sexual activities with not just women but men as well. So he was obviously allowing people to have extramarital affairs because that's what they were doing when they had sex with him. Now, the only spouse he had was called Marceline Baldwin Jones. She unfortunately was one of the people who died on that tragic day in 1978. And all we can thank is that Jim Jones is now dead and can't hurt anyone else. But if you would like to know more about Jim Jones, you can obviously search Jim Jones, Jonestown, James Warren Jones, the People's Temple. There are plenty of ways to find out more about this sick, sadistic man, if you can call him a man. But search either of them in the usual places. Thank you for watching this GC Mysteries video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and click the notification bell. If you can, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/GC Mysteries. See us on Facebook and Twitter, GC Mysteries, and bye bye for now.